Kenny, two questions. One, if you could, when you see what happened in Wisconsin, I'm sure for you, like for me, it's more than just another Black person has been unnecessarily shot. It's horrific, it's devastating, it's maddening, but it's also frightening. Can you talk about what, like what you feel beyond just doing what's right, but it is also something that can cause concern for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say I saw that video this morning around 5 a.m. and I didn't know if I was going to come to work today. I've, been upset, crying all the way up until practice. And then, something happened at practice that had nothing to do with that. And I'm on the side ready to like explode. It had nothing to do with what was happening, but just because I'm an emotional person and I feel that. And so, yeah, there's a sense of fear of like, yeah, what happens to me if I get pulled over? Um, what happens to my people that look like me, my family, my friends? Um, and this almost sense of defeat. But, over the past couple of months, I've been trying to figure out ways to kind of battle through that and try to be the light, or try and be a light within my family, my community, this locker room, and not be defeated and not give up. And so, yeah, there's a sense of fear, but there's also this sense of anger, and really just towing the line on that edge, trying not to be destructive, trying to be constructive in this environment as much as possible.
And just as a follow up, you talked about moving beyond the gestures, right? Can you talk about some of the things that you like to see happening?
Yeah. So I've been studying a bunch on reparations, trying to get in contact with Professor Sandy Darity and Professor Derek Hamilton. They've been working on a race neutral type of reparations called baby bonds that I'm pretty interested in. But also, too, I think, it just starts with that conversation around our country being able to admit our wrongdoing, and in any type of situation like this, in order to move forward, you have to address what was done first. And so, people kind of have, a lot of different outlooks on reparations, but I think it just starts with the conversation around our country fully acknowledging and admitting and apologizing for what has happened, and then figuring out what's next when it comes to economic equality and, money and funds. And so I've been really focused on that. And then the conversation around defunding the police, which has been a political term, but it's really not a political term. It's taking the money that we've been investing into our police that is a bad investment. And I think as a capitalist society, we understand investments. And so if, we're putting money into police and they're not doing their job, then we've got to figure out a way to imagine other types of ways for us to protect our communities and serve our communities. And so really just looking in and diving deeper into those topics and figuring out ways that I can get involved, educate myself, and educate others.
Thank you.